Hey people, Intrid here, 3v3 Lothas Cataclysm. The blue team is all Space Marines. Lieutenant meaw is a force commander, very strong offense, fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support. Some white scars here, alongside a couple of Techmarines. First up, where are you? There you are. It's Jadow. And we have Lolgar. These guys fight in ranged combat, puts us a good damage, can also support with structures, and they can repair. The red team, Shoris as an Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee but can get specialized ranged weapons, alongside crazychairman96 as a Warboss, a melee hero walking through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. And rounding off the teams, Afeat, I'm going to say, maybe it's Afeat, with a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default, great for capping and harassing with some powerful control. They are on the south side against the Techmarine, well, one of the Techmarines. In the north, it's Inquisitor versus Force Commander, fighting over these contested points. So they just noded it. The scouts got here first, and now they're noding it. It's going to take a while to bash that node down. Force Commander could come in here swinging, but they might be able to get rid of the Guardsmen before they are forced to retreat, but they're waiting for backup. Here come the Tactical Marines. They were busy capping stuff, I guess. In the mid, double shooter boys for Crazy Chairman. Those guys in retreat, these guys capping. Sluggers following the Warboss into battle. And these guys are all backing off. They do have a shotgun on the way. No sign of anything else. Well, they got no power for anything else, I suppose. We might see a mastercrafted bolter, though, from Jadow to keep these Orks in check. There's a shotgun blast. Nicely aimed. Also knocked back the Warboss. Didn't suppress him, though. Sluggers are dealt with, and now they can kite and shoot this Warboss. A bit further towards the south, the Howling Banshees of Afeat are running. Shotguns probably blasted them there. Warp Spider trying to get some DPS on. Probably worth getting improved targeters, because they will melt those scouts. Now in melee with the scouts, who have some Taekwondo. Warp Spider teleports out. Guardians just run back to the north. Force Commander is tearing through some guardsmen. That bolt pistol hurts. And of course the chainsword, pretty damn painful as well for those fellas. Scouts getting quite low, but they do retreat in time. The tax got really messed up. I'm not sure what happened. How did this happen when there's only... He must have got Hammer of the Witches and then stomped or something and took some more melee from the Inquisitor. I mean, he only dropped one model, I guess, but it took a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Meanwhile, 1-to-1 cap. Mid is turning blue for the Space Marines. This is Jadow. Tax. Maybe they could have pushed onto this power, but if they don't want to get flamers up, maybe it wasn't worth it. Central power gets noded, and a contested wreck point being taken. The south turns blue for the Space Marines. It's Lolgar that gets the mastercrafted bolter up with that high-powered shot and a big chunk of piercing DPS. Jadow spent their power on Devastators after those shotguns, of course. Storm Boys up for Crazy Chairman. Bad news for those Devastators. Jadow might want to get the powerful sweep Bionics to stop those Storm Boys. It's a decent stomp. Shotgun Scouts dodged it, though, and they're putting some good DPS on at that range. Shotguns do more damage the closer you are. Risk-reward thing going on there. Holy Braziers in for the Inquisitor. A power melee weapon with the Holy Pyre area denial. And look at this push from the red team going north against two Space Marines. Chainsword and Storm Shielded in for the Force Commander. Superb war gear, giving you the defend, suppression, immunity, and 50% ranged damage resistance. Also, the Force Commander personally gets 20% range damage resistance just passively, and 100 more health. Not to mention slightly more melee DPS. I mean, they do give up their bolt pistol sidearm. But it's a really well thought out and balanced war gear. I think down goes the Sentinel. Double crack on bolts. Tactical Marines are on it. Force Commander doing a fantastic job drawing fire and tanking a bunch of stuff here. They've run out of energy for defend. But that was some really good Force Commandering there. Devastators scaring off the Guardsmen. The Sluggers did barely make it out there. 465 to 474. Haven't really seen a push on the powers. I guess that right there was an attempted push onto this power. I don't think any of them have been hit. That one's just being built there. Don't see any damage on them quite yet. Bunch of skulls and rib cages over here. Wonder what was going on. What has Chaos Fella's been up to on Lothaz's Cataclysm? Causing their cataclysms. Artillery spotters up for Shoris. Players actually rarely replace their sentinels in tier 1 when they lose them. So we'll see what they do. Into some catechins perhaps. Get some power melee in there. The defend ability does not help you against melee. So it could just do the all reliable, knock everything over and try to get those catechins into melee afterwards. Kicking off in the mid. Howling Banshees with the aspect of strength. Grenade on those tactical marines. Sneaky guardians behind this wreckage here. This ruined building. These fellas also have battle equipment. And a shuriken is up for Afeat. Where are Storm Boys though? Oh, Storm Boys are north. Jumping in. Smoke went up from the artillery spotters and Storm Boys have power melee damage. But they jumped right into a shotgun blast from those scouts. I mean, they distracted things long enough though for the sluggers to get in and the Warboss to get in. No war gear for this Warboss yet. They are mid-player, so boss pole makes a lot of sense. But he's just got fantastic options all around the Warboss. Back towards the mid. Howling Banshees down to a single model, but they do get away. Tactical Marines with a Sergeant now for Lolgar. That fella has a bolt pistol and chainsword, is very good in combat. Does more damage with his bolt pistol than those guys do with their bolt guns, and he's got good melee attacks as well. Not sure much health that fella has. Well, these guys are still level 1. So 400, I think, that guy. Attacks have 350. So he's in on 400. It's alright. 50 more health than the other fellas, and it's heavy infantry, of course. Looks like Afeat will be the last player to go tier 2. They are floating slightly Librarian up for Lieutenant Meaw. No idea how I meant to say that. Jadow might have queued something up in tier 2. Razorback is on the field for Lolgar. Have they queued up a Dreadnought maybe because of the Storm Boys? Nope, they've gone into their own. It's a Whirlwind actually, not a Razorback. Smoke shell on those tactical marines. But everything's close enough to be shot at anyway, so it's not really doing that much. Here comes the Inquisitor with the Holy Brazier. And there's the Holy Pyre. Reduces your damage and you take some damage over time as well. It's hard to tell though when they're being affected because there isn't a debuff circle for the reduced damage. I think they used, at some point they put it in, but it was, for some reason it was buggy or hard to get to work properly or something. In the south, Tactical Marines behind some heavy cover. Well, some of them were. Out shooting those Guardians quite easily. Now attacks can cap on their faster capping trait. Anything for Jadows? Oh, they got Mastercrafted Bolter as well. Such a solid weapon. Attacks get their Sergeant. There goes Afeat's tier 2. Storm Boys now with their Nob Leader, who can stun on landing because he's a big boy. And he's got a heavy melee chopper as well. Got messed up there though, eh? There's that Librarian. Look at that Librarian inspiring on kill. Grenade almost finished him. Nicely done by Lieutenant Meaw. Bashing the contested power. Surely they've got the push on the natural now. The node's taking a bit of damage. They got so much stuff here. Got to push on the natural, fellas. Looks like Jadow's going for it maybe. Back towards the mid. A lonely power gen on this node, and Lolgar's just kind of hanging out, keeping an eye on the southern VP, keeping an eye on his contested points. Here comes the Warboss and the Eldar, the 2v1. And of course, Shoris is getting 2v1'd in the north. Good artillery spotter shot there. Scouts getting messed up. Scouts go down. Hammer of the Witches finished him, I think. The Inquisitor might fall. Does fall. I think it was worth it to get those scouts. They should get easily revived from there. Librarian with the staff doing the force barrier. We do have plasma guardsmen in play, as you'd expect. Against Space Marines, plasma guns very effective versus heavy infantry. I hear the Banshees yelling. In the mid, down goes the Razorback. Right Lance got it, it seems. Yep. And of course, I'm sure those Banshees helped out with their heavy melee spear. Still level 1. Did the Warp Spider get stuff? Oh, they really did get stuff. Oh, Power Blaze. I guess that also got onto the Razorback. improved warp generator for group teleport and an anti-grav grenade. The Warboss just got the claw up. Level 2, here comes the boss pole. Gonna help all infantry around him that's allied with more health and some more suppression resistance. On the power then, can they get a full bash here? Force Commander now with a Sacred Standard. They are full on support Force Commander mode here. And with Artificer for tankiness. Gonna get a full bash and a decap, I think. Red team though are taking the south, and Warp Spider able to get a cap on the blue team's natural victory point. So it's gonna be a triple cap for the red team, and they need it. They need some VPs. Storm boys. See that buff circle from the boss pole. Sluggers have their knob leader now. He's got a power melee weapon. Those guys are chasing down the whirlwind, leaving the sluggers isolated, having to retreat. Warboss, I'm not sure what he's up to. You're not gonna catch it, buddy. You don't have your angry bits. Shoris with a Manticore on the way. Hasn't been revived yet. I'm sure they'll get it soon. Anti-armor stormtroopers want to hunt down that whirlwind, but melter guns are useful against everything. Just need to get kind of close. It isn't always great for them. Stern Guard veterans up for Lolgar goes into tier 3. These Stern Guard can change their ammo to combat all targets. Using Vengeance rounds at the moment, which is not ideal against those shooter boys, but it took them out. Vengeance rounds is versus vehicles and super heavy infantry, and also structures. They were using it to shoot down the gens there. They need to switch to Hellfire though to fight this Eldar. They're not doing it. Grenades actually miss. I think they expected the Stern Guard to back up into them, but they did not. Level 3 Techmarine with Signum armor now. This guy's level 3 also. Oh, the Warboss went down. What was he doing? That is very strange from Crazy Chairman. Not sure what kind of plan they were hatching up there. Meanwhile, there's Defend. We have plasma attacks here. There isn't any heavy infantry on the field. I mean, they do good damage to infantry anyway, and good damage to heroes, and they'll be awesome against a Nob squad if one appears. Down in the south, scouts are capping, and these guys are bashing power. Stern Guard still have those Vengeance rounds loaded in to bash with. Where's the Techmarine? Oh, they were capping the mid. Someone going to revive this stuff. Oh, Warboss just repurchased. There's that barrier. Everything buffed by the boss pole. Ouch. Guardsmen took a big chunk of damage there. They don't have their Commissar leaders yet, which I think really helps them trade with attacks that have sergeants and stuff. Assault squad on the field for Jadow. That's coming out late, and that can really throw people off when they suddenly have to deal with a jump troop, as they're like thinking about their tier 3s and stuff. Oh, Lolgar has dropped in a Venerable Dreadnought. Smacks the Bright Lance, but now has a Wraith Lord to deal with as well. Bright Lance gets out of there. This guy is unique to the Techmarine, has tons of hit points and can charge. But here comes Howling Banshees. And the Power Blades Warp Spider could also help, maybe. Dreadnought might be in a bit of trouble. Gets a good Emperor's Fist. Yep, Warp Spider's coming in for some heavy melee as well. Maybe. Oh, they can't quite get in there, I think. Did they just put Crack Shot on themselves? What was that about? Crack Shot doesn't help your melee, does it? Dreadnought charges out. Maybe survives. Oh, Wraith Lord's got a shoulder-mounted Bright Lance, though, is chasing. Might be done for this Dreadnought. Tax and a Techmarine and Stern Guard trying to help out. There's Mark Target on the Wraith Lord. Emperor's Fist. Crack. So the Venerable Dreadnought is down. There's Stoicism, but they need to get this Wraith Lord. There we go. They got the Wraith Lord. So they traded Walkers, Venerable Dreadnoughts, for more valuable Walker, but the Wraith Lord did get the Bright Lance upgrade as well, so it's probably relatively even. I mean, they did spend a bunch of red getting that Venerable out, so maybe not quite even. Good special from the Warp Spider, being an absolute terror here. Missile launch attacks in play. There's Hellfire on the Stern Guard, doing damage over time against the Warp Spider. They should be using Kraken Bolts, actually, but down goes the Warp Spider. Back towards the northeast, Force Commander's fallen over. which means the standard is even more inspirational, giving a 40% damage increase. There's a nasty Manticore shot. Did some good work. Assault Squad have their Sergeant. He's got a power sword and a merciless strike ability. An area of effect melee strike. Very good versus enemy melee squads. Helps them win those fights when they wouldn't be able to otherwise. Afeat with another Wraith Lord on the way. Okay, Lolgar's down to 2 units. They got a Librarian coming up, suggesting maybe they're looking for Terminators next. They do have quite a lot of red. Towards the south, mark target on the Banshees. And they show no fear from those Stern Guard veterans, giving them a 50%. Did they lower it actually? Giving them a chance to knock back on melee attacks also gives them some awesome defensive buffs. I think they might have lowered it from 50% at some point. Commando squad on the field for Crazy Chairman. There's the tier 3 for Jadow. Now it's Afeat, the last player in tier 2. I mean, they got 2 Wraith Lords up, so it's a lot of power. Orks is going to get revived here. Warboss gets a chunk of XP. There we go. Do Storm Boys level up? Almost level 3. 2-to-1 cap for the blue team. Warp Spider's getting on the southern VP though. What level are you, Mr. Warp Spider? You're also level 2. Kassakin up for Shoris. Manticore's in a bit of an awkward spot. And that's Terminators coming in, I think. Assault Terminators, maybe? Yep, from Lieutenant Meaw. Using their teleport. Now that's on cooldown. These guys are unique to the Force Commander with big old Thunder Hammers and Storm Shields. They're going to make short work of the Manticore. Down it goes. And now they can just casually walk away with no threat. Well, here comes a threat. Stormtroopers with melter guns and an Inquisitor using Excruciator's Assail immediately. The Inquisitor has lots of great tools to use against Terminators. Terminators don't like to be snared or slowed down because they can't retreat out of it. And Inquisitor can do a bunch of that. Hammer of the Witch is on the Force Commander that time. Tries to go in on the Terminators. They could get Purgatus up as well. And what you do is use Assail and then switch to Purgatus and use that and then switch back. I think it's worth the investment. You could also get the Crossbow Bolt Pistol for Crippling Volley, and then you get the Liber Heresius, or whatever it's called, to get tons of energy to power all those abilities. I think it's worth it. Otherwise, you just want loads of Melter and Plasma and stuff. We'll see what they go for. It might be they just want an Executioner Lehman Russ up. I mean, they've got Kassakin with Plasma. He's a good Plasma guns. They get 2 of them, almost 20 DPS each. How much are your Plasma guns? Are they 8? Yeah, just over 8. So you get 20. They get 3 of them, so it's like 24, almost 25 Plasma DPS from those Guardsmen. Force Commander runs. Oh, they all run. What's this? The attacks got through and decapped the VP, and some sneaky commandos with their fast capping. And their sneaking, of course, got on the natural VP of the red team. 322. 265. Looks like that's where the Whirlwind was. Warboss, what are you doing? Level 5. Got some flash gits on the way now. Jadow gets a Dreadnought up. They might be looking for assault cannon stuff. Ogrin's on the way for Shoris. Dark Age of Technology comes in immediately on this Dreadnought. It's another 30 power for that. It's an expensive Dreadnought. Meanwhile, power being bashed in the northeast. They should be able to get all of it down, I think. They got that rocket launcher on that commando knob. Maybe even a decap, actually. Because Lieutenant Meaw is all the way in base. And they're not moving for some reason. They're all healed up. Not sure what's going on over here. There we go. Now they be moving towards the mid. More Terminators, this time from Lolgar. Level 3 Stern Guard, level 4 attacks, and a big old heavy flamer on these Terminators here. Why do these guys seem to be running so fast? Am I just imagining things? Seems like they are running. 317 to 244. Wraithlord's taking a bunch of damage. Stern Guard with their Vengeance rounds and Mark Target was on it. Shimmer Orb might have saved it there. Tier 3 for Afeat. There he goes. Got a decent chunk of red, I think. Dreadnought's having a grand old time just tearing through some guardsmen. Right Lance is getting shots, and here comes Stormtroopers. There's the Melter Bomb. And there's your Melter Guns. The Warboss could also help with a Power Claw, maybe. Techmarine's trying to repair it. That's Lolgar's Techmarine, I think. Dreadnought needs to get out. They pushed the Dreadnought so far forward. I mean, it's hanging in there. It looks like we have Blessing of the Omnissiah up. It may be 2 of them, actually. I think both Techmarines used it. Does it stack? I mean, that's repairing really freaking fast. It almost leveled up, and it stays alive, and the Warboss went down. 317 to 204. Got a decap as well. Good passage of play for the blue team there. Really good. Shoris had a rough time. They've got Bullgrins, but they've no guardsmen left. What the heck happened? I was distracted by my phone there. Did I just miss a whole ton of guardsmen dying? There's some dead ones over here. Not sure. Where's that librarian? They are miles away. South was decapped. Tax will be on it though. Blue team looking to be in control. Gonna be tough. Red team need a really good fight or a nuke or something. And they do have nukes available. Dreadnought still in danger, taking Bright Lance shots. And Bullgrins are there. Bullgrins will smack anything with those power mauls or whatever they're called. Oh, they got suppressed? What suppressed them? I didn't see. There's use your shield. Stormtroopers need to get after that Dreadnought here. They're capping for some reason. I guess they think the Bullgrins have it, and the Bullgrins do get it. Bullgrins are getting low, and they're tanking a lot of damage here. Wraithlord needs to go into melee mode and start smacking those fellas. There's a sail on the assault squad. They didn't drop a model though. Oh, did they? Oh, they dropped the sergeant, look. They got the sergeant out of there. 317 to 138. Decent little push from the red team. Need to try and get a triple cap, I guess. Librarian forward capping here. Warboss trying to bash power. Oh, trying to get the whirlwind. There's a whirlwind up for Lolgar. Seer Council on the way for Afeat. Did the Bullgrins get a chunk of XP? Not really. Didn't get that much XP. That damage on that rear armor hit. 3 of those and the whirlwind's gone. But I don't think they can get another one. There's this suppression from high-powered shot and they have to retreat. In the north, this scary army from Lieutenant meaw, all being buffed by that Force Commander. A Force Commander that's very difficult to kill because of the Chainsword and Storm Shield. Eldritch Storm from Afeat. Doesn't seem like it's going to do a huge amount of work though. Perhaps slightly wasted there. Double a cap for red. Where's that Seer Council? These guys are a threat. Big threat to those Terminators. Unless they get their claws. Terminators are right here. They're going for the Wraithlord. Grenade. Grenade is a good hit. Guys, need to fight those Terminators. Now they're trying to swing on the Wraithlord. Here comes the Bullgrins. Seer Council are now moving. Terminators are really far forward. I think they have their teleport though. Seer Council need to go after them. What are they doing? There we go. Seer Council are going in. They will do tons of DPS to those guys. Power melee Witchblades. And there's a sail. They were saved by the Librarian. And the Gate of Infinity. Terminator's got really low. Didn't drop a model though. Can the blue team push? The Seer Council will be providing a damage resistance aura around them to ranged fire. It's very useful for those Bullgrins. They're popping user shield there, everything getting suppressed. Those are Vanguard veterans now. They have power melee weapons. Here's an Ob squad though from Crazy Chairman. Down to 110 VPs, but the red team are coming out swinging here with some powerful units. Seer Council and an Inquisitor in amongst some Stern Guard, but the Whirlwind is being annoying. There's that Nob squad. They have their hammers on some Terminators here. Don't have their Nob leader yet. But incredibly dangerous nonetheless. Flash kits with blasters. Powerful versus heavy and super heavy infantry. Look at the VPs though. Red team are under 100. They are looking for the triple though. Warp Spider here and Inquisitor in the south. Warp Spider's going to need to do a lot of this, I think. I think they're going to get a triple. Not sure how long it's going to be for. I mean, look how red the map is all of a sudden. Have the blue team overextended a few times? Because even if you overextend and don't lose units, you're still going to lose map because you can't stay overextended, which means you fall back, which means you lose map. Guardsmen on the way for Shoris. Crazy Chairman doing the right thing here, just being super aggressive with the Nob squad and pushing everything back. Facilitates caps. They got the VP. They have the triple 218 to 86. Lieutenant meaw pushing through the north though, which is the right thing to do as well. Are they just going to focus mid and south, I wonder, the red team? Just forget about the north. Maybe just grab the power back. Afeat with a fire prism on the way. Lolgar did have Devastators, cancels them. There's a flare from the artillery spotters. And an Execution Lehman Russ from Shoris. Fantastic against heavy and super heavy infantry. Those guys are countering the assail with the Gate of Infinity on the Librarians. Ouch. Guardsmen being torn up by the assault cannon there. Here come the Bullgrins. Can they counter-initiate effectively on the Vanguard veterans? Vanguard veterans jump again just to knock stuff over. Seer Council going after some Terminators. Vanguard veterans just did get messed up, but they didn't drop a model there. Have these Terminators teleported already? Was that just then? Oh, there they go. There's the teleport. Look how much damage they took so quickly there. Some Devastators from Jadow struggling to find a place to set up here. Just being cautious, I guess. Meanwhile, Lieutenant meaw harassing from the flank somehow. Assault Terminators teleporting in. They know that they have the Gate of Infinity available, so they can be aggressive with the teleport. Librarian runs. Terminators should be fine because of the Gate of Infinity stuff. There's a Shimmer Orb. Not sure why they put that up. Down goes the Fire Prism. Didn't last long. The Terminator just looked at it funny and it blew up. Afeat down to 2 units now. 121 to 86. Blue team are nowhere near getting on that southern VP. These Terminator taking huge amounts of damage. I'm not sure exactly what the range is on Gate of Infinity. I know it's really, really long, but that Librarian went all the way back to base. So maybe not long enough if he's trying to get closer there. And they get assailed. And they might go down here. Got too cocky with their Terminators, thinking Gate of Infinity could save them. It doesn't have infinite range. 97 to 86. I wonder if maybe it was on cooldown even. 3 here, says Lolgar. Where's here exactly? South? Okay, they're talking about the south. I'm not sure. How did he go down over here, buddy? Other Techmarine is also down. 85 to 86. Red team still hanging on with this 2-1. They have powerful units up as well. Seer Council and a Nob squad alone could do massive amounts of heavy lifting here. All buffed by that boss pole, of course. They got the Inquisitor doing awesome control stuff. Vanguard veterans jumping in on guardsmen, taking flash kit blaster shots though, and that executioner's doing work. Devastators getting devastated. Lob squad took him out. Lob squad doing massive amounts of work there. Look at this as well. Predator tank gets snuck up on by those stormtroopers. Well played, Shoris gets it done. 60 to 86. Momentum with the red team now. Another tank going down. Go to the natural, please, says Lolgar. Wants their allies to push through the mid and get on the natural VP. Is that crack shot on the Seer Council? I'm not sure why Afeat is putting crack shot on melee units and stuff. Pretty sure it just buffs ranged damage and your range. Meanwhile, scouts were trying to get onto the VP, but commandos said no. Blue team have got to the southern VP though, down to 36, where they stopped the VP counter. Inquisitor level 6 has her mandate. Here come the Bullgrins. Bullgrins have been awesome in this game. Big old bullies. Suppressing stuff. Go after that librarian, I say. Try and focus him down. Oh no. Demon Rust goes down. Did you guys power fist it? What happened? It looked like it took friendly fire from the fire prism, but I don't know. I was probably just seeing things. 33 to 86, a 1-to-1 cap here. Bullgrin's getting low. Can they power fist on retreat path? They tried to, maybe a little bit late. I'm not sure if they would have got it. They might have got them if they did that perfectly, if they moved the tax into play as well. Maybe. 1-to-1 cap. Red team got a decap on their natural again. Well done. Warp Spider getting it done there. Nob squad popped their frenzy. There's a rocket run. Facilitating at least a decap, I would think. Oh, but here comes an orbital. Warboss just ran into it as well. They didn't put it on the VP though. There's Ard Boys. Gets the decap. See, Council are trying to push. They've got to do what they can to stop this cap. Oh, Librarian's on it though. Here comes a Wraith Lord. Another Leman Russ on the way for Shoris. Lieutenant meaw got some other Terminators, as I'm sure you've noticed. So each of them has a single Terminator squad now. Another Orbital comes in. Wraith Lord doing some good work here now. There's something decapping. Oh, the Warboss is decapping over there. There's an Orbital. Did some friendly fire with the Orbital, and those guys aren't retreating. So they're going to take a big chunk of damage. They survived it, though. The Wraith Lord survived somehow. Still going, this guy. We have a melee Techmarine. Awesome. Level 9 melee Techmarine from Lolgar. Trying to fight the knobs in the Seer Council and stuff, I guess. Warboss with Ard Boys. Gets the cap, I think. Barely gets the cap. Then goes down. 30 to 57 on a 2-to-1. Bullgrins are back. Might would just be worth getting some more Ogrins up for Shoris. Can't get more Bullgrins, they're limited to 1. But if you had Bullgrins suppressing stuff, Ogrins knocking stuff over, that's pretty damn good. In onto the Techmarine, uses the powerful sweep, knocks them around. Did some good work there, the Techmarine. Really good work. Here come a bunch of more Marines to defend. There's the VP turning blue, 26 to 56. Look at this as well. Sneaky scouts. You got a cap, fellas. They aren't capping. This is Lieutenant meaw. They must be looking over here. Lots of damage on those Terminators. Seer Council are in there. Oh, now we have a Power Fist Force Commander. They've given up on their Storm Shield. Using their Battle Cry now. Those guys just getting mulched by that Leman Russ. Leman Russ needs to be careful though. There's Flesh Over Steel. Is there more anti-vehicle stuff here? Maybe the Power Fists from the Terminators, but there's a Nob Squad in the back lines now. Those guardsmen repairing. I feel like they should be repairing. There we go. 20 to 47. Use your choppers now on the Nob Squad and Ard Boys, getting all the buffs from the Warboss. Just took down the Techmarine. Nob Squad really low here. Where is the Warboss's corpse is here. So they should be able to use Call the Boys, I think. Not sure how expensive it is. It doesn't matter. The red team with a double cap at the end. Sneaky through the mid from Shoris, supported by a crazy chairman as well. They got it. They got it done. What an awesome game. Level 8 Force Commander for Lieutenant meaw. Level 6 Techmarine and level 10 Techmarine here. Inquisitor level 7. A level 8 Warboss, very linear level 9. And the Warp Spider Exarch level 4. Awesome stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.